What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course with very overstable mid-ranges, and it's not really that windy out, but I figure it's sunny. It's better than it had been. It's been raining for a couple of days. We have the Proton Deflector versus the Lucid Ice Macy Villa-Diaz Justice. This one's actually flat. This one's actually somewhat puddle topped. This one actually might be the overstable Justice that the Justice was supposed to be. Let's go ahead and start off. We're just gonna start with a nice little flex backhand with the deflector. It will be interesting to see actual distance comparisons between these two once we start throwing full power shots with them. Obviously this hole's like 220 feet, so I don't really have to fully juice them up. But both of those, at least at low speed, fly very similar. Let's go see what higher power does. The very first power shot is going to be a flex forehand. Try to get down there. It's about 250 downhill, but into the headwind. The wind has started to pick up a little bit, so we will get to see. Justice was closer to the basket than the deflector was, so Justice with the first point. A little on the short side. Now, I'm not necessarily looking for shorter or longer. I'm looking for a very specific shot shape and a very specific distance. So you can actually go too far on the overstable side. This is trying to find the disc that is the perfect balance. Oh no, I turned that one way over. Okay, I guess Justice with 2 points right now. Gonna go for the backhand flex shot here. Pull it around. Pull it in, I guess, in front of the tree that's there, and then dump back towards the basket. Justice has 2 points. Let's go Justice first. And that went inside the tree. Well, okay, maybe I'm just throwing poorly today. And deflector, well, I guess, yeah, deflector went further than the Justice, so deflector takes its first point. That was not what I expected to happen from these throws. Now, I said that I gave the point to the deflector. I then proceeded to not be able to find the deflector. I looked for 30 minutes. And I could not find the deflector. So I think it's only fair we give the point to the Justice, and then one trip to another round, 3 used discs down, 1 new deflector later, and an entire rainstorm. And it's like 2.5 hours later, we're getting back to it. Deflector has 0, the Justice has 3. We're gonna try to get a little bit touchy with a forehand here. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot. That is an unfortunate tree. I was hoping to pull it just inside of it. All right, that is for real this time, the deflector's first point. It did not hit a tree. That is 1 to 3 though, so we'll see if it can come back from pre-rainstorm tragedies. This has been a weird day, and now it's sunny again. Weather in the mountains is just, sometimes you just never know what's gonna happen, because it was sunny like 3 or 4 hours ago, and then it slowly got darker, and then a torrential downpour, and now it's sunny again. Yeah, anyways, deflector's first point, gonna go big sweeping backhand flex shot. I know the deflector's angle. I don't know if I can hit this one on the right angle. We're gonna have to try, but it is BOB right now, back of box. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm gonna try to match it with the Justice, but I might be getting a little bit drenched just to retrieve these. Okay. Yeah, this, I don't know if this Justice is as overstable as this deflector is. So this one actually did the shot I wanted, which, so here's something that surprises me sometimes. The way discs are shaped. This one has I mean, the red's going to make it very difficult to see, but it has a pretty pronounced bead on the edge of it, on the bottom edge, whereas the deflector doesn't. Typically for me, beaded discs are a little bit nicer backhand than they are forehand, and no beads are better forehand than they are backhand, or they are better on a forehand than the beaded discs are, typically speaking. Now, I could have just had a really unlucky deflector, which, I mean, this is a brand new deflector, so we'll see how lucky this one is. But we're going to go ahead and throw this shot. I'm trying to figure out who to give the point to. Oh yeah, Justice has the point, 4 to 1. And you're going to look at me and say, why are you throwing that line? Until you realize that when I pull these out for forehand, this is actually the shot shape that I'm using. That's 2 for the deflector. Alright, that is 2 deflector, 4 Justice. Let's go backhand and try to do the old distance drop trick. You throw them on a hyzer, and for me, these should spike in about where the hill drops off. So do they spike in behind the hill, or do they spike in right at the basket? It's about to find out. Deflector has the box. Let's get our hyzer throws ready. Well, I didn't throw it far enough to the right. That's a problem. I was not a fan of that. Not the biggest fan of that flight. That still had a little bit of straight push. It didn't really just stay on hyzer and immediately start dumping, fading. And there is a crosswind out there, so I expected that both would do the same thing. If one did it, the other was going to do it, right? But that's not what happened. So while the Justice is ahead on points, that throw makes me think that because predominantly backhand thrower, it's a shallower rim. I don't know if it's because it's shallower. Is it because there's a bead? Is it because it's slightly sharper? I don't know. But I like the reliability of the deflector that really only does the one thing. In this slot, that's what you need. And I do have a little bit more forehand confidence with a beadless disc. Hence the last hole with the deflector. All right. So, based off the last throw, this one was both further and more left, which means it stayed on the hyzer and let the wind push it, whereas this one stayed straight and then faded off. So, deflector with 3 points, Justice with 2 points. We're gonna play this as the final hole. And if the deflector ties it up, we'll do a final last ditch CTP from in between the two metal power poles up to the basket. But right now, who can flex the best? Deflector has the box, and headwind's picking up. Now for the Justice. I have noted this with the other Justice video. It's a little on the shallow side, which forehanders love, but not me. I actually prefer a little bit of more depth in the rim. I have very wide fingertips, and on the turnover forehand shot, the flex one back there we threw over the gate, it slipped off my fingers before I had fully committed to the release, and so it came out nose up. And so on a couple of the backhands, it's come out a little early. A couple of forehands, it's come out a little early. And so on this hole, I decided to make sure it would not come out too early, and I overgripped it. So based off of depth, I am leaning towards the deflector just because it is a little bit deeper. But let's go ahead and do the final CTP because the deflector did tie it up. We're still doing the CTP, but there is an actual grass drop zone marked off, so we're going to use that instead. That is not what I expected to happen there. Well, with the basket off to the right, Justice wins the tree kick derby, but they did end up tied just with a final one stride CTP. It's about 3 feet. Yeah, Justice is going to go in the bag for now. I'm gonna see if I can get along with how shallow it is. We're gonna try it, and if it doesn't work out after a couple of times throwing it for some rounds and stuff, I think we might be back to deflector or mutant. Yeah, that's where we're at so far. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. Please make sure to comment down below if you want to see new stuff. It is actively raining on my face right now. Yeah, please subscribe. Helps you guys out with these subscriber only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And I know it does cost a little bit of money, but if you were to add the memberships in, it is 1 free giveaway disc a month. So make sure you check that out. Until next time, I'll see you out on the course.